Hello and welcome to the parent workshop on reports and assessments. My name is Gurpreet Tuppal and I am the assistant principal in charge of Key Stage 4 and assessment at George Salter Academy. So first of all, the aims of this presentation is to give you an overview of the assessment reporting and recording that takes place throughout the school year, to give you an overview of the report writing process and how assessment looks at Key Stage 3, 4 and 5. The first thing I want to do is just to show you the A, R and R calendar. Now this is more of a tool for school teachers, but it just gives you an idea of how much assessment, recording and reporting takes place throughout the school year. And you can see at the top you put the different year groups, and along the left hand side you can see the different weeks throughout the school year. So as you can see and appreciate, it's a very busy time in terms of how much data is actually recorded throughout the school year for your child. One of the key things is what we call the attitude to learning, okay, which is abbreviated to ATL. And if I just take you back here, you can see that this is recorded once every half term. So the attitude to learning is a grade that is given to your child, and this is based on what attitude to learning they are showing in lesson. And as you can see here, the best grade is a blue and the worst grade is a red. This data is then sent to pupils on a piece of paper, and parents are made aware via text message that this data has been given to pupils. So I'd really encourage you each half term when the ATL data is released to talk to your child about what ATL they are currently achieving in their subjects. The next thing I want to just briefly discuss is the reports that are written for your children. Each year group has one written report a year, and your child will receive a comment from their subject teacher explaining how they are currently getting on within that subject area. The report writing process follows a very simple process of what went well for that child and an even better if. And the idea is that you as the parent and carer can support your child at home with the learning in that subject. When we look at the ambitious curriculum that we have at George Salter Academy, it's important to remember that everything we do in terms of assessing and reporting on those assessments all links to the curriculum. And I just want to give you an idea of how the curriculum currently at George Salter Academy is set out. So when we look at the curriculum, the things that we look at is, first of all, why are we teaching that particular thing? What are we teaching? When are we teaching it? And how do we help students to know, do, and remember more? So this here is an overview of the maths curriculum. And as you can see, the maths curriculum from year 7 all the way to year 11 have topics that are repeated again year upon year that aim to build upon prior knowledge and build upon that in more depth. The same can also be said of the English curriculum as well, where certain themes are examined throughout. What this does is it actually leads to our Key Stage 3 assessment all being about how we build upon prior knowledge and test that prior knowledge. So on your screen in front of you now, you can see what a typical testing assessment looks at Key Stage 3. So this is an example of the maths assessment. And you can see that we have 2 assessments per year group. So there's assessment 1 and assessment 2. And you can see that as the years progress, more and more of the assessments cover prior knowledge. Here is an example of the English assessment system, where again, we can see that as we get to year 9, pupils are now being tested on topics that they covered in year 7 and year 8. So it's really important that when we are testing pupils, that as parents and carers, you are actively getting involved in helping your child to revise. So, in a nutshell, the Key Stage 3 assessments that we have at George Salter Academy, we have 2 assessment points, Assessment 1 and Assessment 2. These assessments can take place at any time during the school year, and each child is given a percentage for each of the assessments. These percentages are then put into Go for Schools, which is how we record data as a school, and these percentages are then shared with parents once we have collated all that data. Text messages are sent home and these results are shared. What we also aim to do is we aim to give not just your individual child's percentage that they achieved in English, maths, science, etc., but also what the class average percentage was. This gives you some sort of idea of how your child is performing against their peers. At Key Stage 4 and at Key Stage 5, the summative assessments take place during the mock exam series. We have a November mock exam series, and we have a core mock exam series which takes place in the spring term. We of course also have formative assessments. These are assessments that take place in the classroom throughout the year, and these are again recorded on Go for Schools. These formative assessments give us a big indication and evidence base as to what the forecast grades for your child should be. And at Key Stage 4 also we have something called Pearson set assignments. So these are for BTEC courses, and these are pieces of coursework that take place from year 10 all the way into year 11. So if we look a little bit more in depth at the Key Stage 3 assessments, there are 2 summative assessments. They're called Assessment 1 and Assessment 2, and each assessment has 2 clear parts. Section A is all knowledge-based, and Part 2, Section B, is all about application of knowledge. We also have formative assessment pieces as well. So these are the pieces of work that are assessed throughout the year. These are called RAP pieces, Reflect and Progress. These are again recorded on Go for Schools, and these could be anything such as an end of unit test. It could be a practical element within food or PE, and it's any piece of work where a pupil is given detailed feedback. And what we aim to do is we aim to record each one of these pieces as a percentage or a grade if we're in Key Stage 4 and 5. And what this does is it provides teachers, heads of departments, progress leaders to really focus their quality assurance and curriculum provision to ensure, you know, that the curriculum is fit for purpose, that pupils are making the correct progress, and so on. And also, this data is shared with parents when it comes to Parents' Evening to really kind of inform conversations regarding the progress that pupils are making and what they need to do to make further progress. And just to finish, I just want to kind of show you all the various other aspects of assessments that take place throughout the year. So here you can see a typical assessment mapping plan that we've got. Now again, this is for internal use for teaching staff, but it just gives you an idea of the amount of assessment that is taking place each week within the school year. So it's really important for you to check in with your child and ask them what assessments they're going to be doing, because this information is shared with all children as well. If there are any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at school. Thank you very much for listening.